Hi guys. So I've only got about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I thought we could read a couple more pages of this. So give you guys a couple of minutes to join on. I've used my last bit of milk. And let me just get this on here. Who is that? Right, let's turn the volume down. Let's get on there so I can see your comments. So hi Pat. Hi to the new members. Pat, Tony, Linda. Thank you so much. Please guys, please join up. It's only $3. Makes me very happy. Obviously at the moment I am going out of my way to try and build up this channel. We want to get Elvis Presley fan on keto. I want it more busier because I actually like the freedom this channel gives me, because I can read all the books, I can do the songs, I can do the movies, I can have fun, I can talk about the diet, which I'm very passionate about. You guys know that the keto diet saved my life, reversed all my health issues. I started it nearly 2 years ago, so it's so important to me that I'm allowed to talk about the diet. I don't want to talk about the diet on Defending Elvis. I do not want to talk about it over there. I want Defending Elvis Presley, that channel, to be specific for defending. Obviously, we've just had quite a serious discussion at Defending Elvis Presley about these topics. Very serious. It needs to be done. It needs to happen. We need to defend, but we do it over there. Here is a bit more of it's a bit more fun, guys. We can have a bit of a giggle. So I've already done a couple of song reactions. I've also done a discussion, a quick video about this amazing new news from Baz Luhrmann about the documentary coming out. The newly found film footage of Elvis singing and in concert and in conversation, and just love it, love it. So we are now going to talk about this, but I just thought we'd have a little warm me up. Hi Tony. I just thought we'd have a warm up, and we're going to listen to a bit of that conversation again with Elvis and Anita. I just thought, just as a warm up, to give people a chance to join us. So let me just get it up. Let's press play. It's only 3 minutes of it, so let's just have a listen.
Well, I'm not so sure you think so. Well, I do. I think you're cute, too. But do you have a girlfriend out there?
Do you have a girlfriend out there?
Well, I mean, do you have a
I love it. I remember the accent. Do you have a girlfriend out there? I can't even do it, the southern accent. I think she's got the cutest accent. Obviously, me being from Britain, I really notice the American twang, and I love her accent. I think it's lovely.
for one? I know you have several. Oh, hell.
Ah, hell.
There you go, getting mad. I'm not. Well, I'm not being
Love it. There you go, getting mad. I'm not.
silly, Elvis. I mean, that's just... I don't have any. Let's just face it. I don't have any. You mean you don't go out with a single girl out there? No. Well, Elvis, I'm surprised at you. I don't. I thought you liked girls. I do. Well,
Why, Elvis, I'm surprised at you.
what you go out with them? Okay. What you do anyway? I just haven't. There's one thing I just can't stand. You know what that is? What? For you to tell me a story about something. Well. You're always getting to me about telling you stories. I know, but you tell me more than I do you. That's not true. My goodness. Elvis, I've caught you in so many, it's awful. Oh, hell.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell. Could you, girls out there, could you imagine if that was you? Don't forget, we know, because we've read the book, we know that Elvis has been a bit naughty, yeah? Now, we also know that Anita is like a very well brought up, decent girl, a sweet, innocent girl, still a virgin, even though she's famous in her own right, even though she's a great singer and dancer. She's been around on the different shows. She has her own pop program that she presents with a co-presenter. We know that she has waited for Elvis, and Elvis has been a bit naughty. He's made friends in Germany, not just Priscilla. It's rumoured he had 3 or 4 different girlfriends in Germany. So we know, we're on the other side of it, that actually in the end, Anita gets mistreated and gets her heart broken. So when we listen to this conversation, we see it, we hear it from different ears. Now, Stefan, an artist on record, what would you do? Stefan, if you were in Germany and all the girls were after you, obviously you're around 20 odd, in uniform, the girls are queuing up for you, would you be faithful?
At least if I were you, I would admit to dating people because I know you are, and it would make me feel so much better if you told me about them, and then I wouldn't feel like there was anything there. You know what? You know why I don't call you more than this? Mm-hmm. For this very reason right here. Well, I wouldn't do it if you call you more. For this very reason right here, because I can't talk to you, hon. I wouldn't do it. My damn head, man. I mean, I can't count on decent conversation, but you start throwing up all kind of shit to me. Listen, Elvis, if you call me... Look, if I called you...
Right, you see what he's doing? This is a typical tactic. He's trying to turn the table. He's trying to turn it back on her. There's no milk. He's trying to turn it back on her. He's trying to go, because she's having a go at him, but really he's the one that is out of order. Now, we love Elvis. Come on, we love Elvis, but poor Anita. Poor Anita.
Every damn night you start bitching about some girl. That's a story, because I wouldn't think there was any girl there. You're just like a nag, that's all. You're just a nagger, that's all. I'm sorry you feel that way about it, but that's the way I feel about it, and you don't have to be that way either. Well, that's the way I am. Not to the extent that you are. You don't have to be that bad. I'm sorry you feel that way about it. I know you're going to start throwing something up to me. And I ain't got time to hear it. You turn me into a fat drunkard. You know that? You mean just fussing at you? Yeah, all the time. You would, because I can't stand it. I can't stand it, Anita. I swear I can't stand it. Right. If you'd come...
I can't stand it. I can't stand it. You're accusing me of stuff. You're making me out as if I've done something wrong. But poor Anita. Poor innocent who was just waited for Elvis, who gave up a movie career for Elvis with Paramount. The problem you got is this. I'm not against Elvis, of course not. I love Elvis. I completely understand how he feels. I was a DJ for 26 years. You get a lot of attention when you're a DJ. Elvis was a rock and roll star. Stefan will understand because he was, in a band, a cool guy in a band. You get a lot of attention from the girls. If you're a DJ, if you're a rock and roll star, if you're the most famous man in the world, the women are queuing up for you. He was in his 20s. He wasn't ready to settle down. He wasn't ready to give Anita what she wanted. She was lovely. I would say she was perfect in every way. Beautiful, stunning, talented, loyal, innocent. She had it all. She didn't need Elvis's money. She had her own money. But she wasn't ready. So, it's the way it is, guys. So let me just read Stefan's comment. Where are we? We need, I've just lost this comment, right. It says, is it true? In 1976, Johnny Brewer sued the Memphis Publishing Company for libel when it reported that Anita Brewer was divorced from Brewer and reunited with Presley in Las Vegas. I've never heard that. Stefan, I've got to look it up. I have never, ever heard that, ever. So, no, that's the first. Stefan, where did you even hear that? Let's listen to the last bit of this and we'll read the book. I haven't got long.
if you had called me, it would have been fine tonight. You be sweet instead of bitching like an old nagging ass wife, huh? I can't stand that.
Oh, that's so funny. Bitching like an old nagging ass wife.
I can't stand it, Anita. You drive me crazy. You get worse all the damn time. That's why I don't talk to you more often on the phone.
Oh, that's so funny. That is cute. That is cute, guys. Let me see if I can find one more interview with Anita. I just find that. I don't want to. I'm not trying to be. Oh, sorry, guys. It just cracked me up. I can imagine myself saying it myself. So I just want to see if there's another interview with Anita. Come on, let's find Anita Wood. Here we go. Let's play a bit of this one, guys. Where is it? And is it? I want to see the bit where she talks. There we go.
And when he came home,
Right, I'm gonna start again. Okay. Go. Right. Right, we're just seeing if it's loud enough, guys.
We ain't done it, but
So we'll just see if it's loud enough.
once on Louisiana
What am I
Hayride,
playing on? I might have clicked on the wrong thing.
So we'd like to do it for you right now, and we hope you like the way we do it.
I think, 1 second,
It's a
guys.
song
Hang on.
about, it's a song about,
I've clicked on something. I love hearing his voicemail. I love it. I can hear myself talking.
it's a song that goes something like this. Get with it.
Stop. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, I don't even know why that happened. Right, okay, let's go back to YouTube. That's obviously my Maybelline. Right, Yasmin, you gotta go get dressed. Mum said go and get dressed quickly. You got dancing, mate. Is it dancing?
yeah.
Right, let's have a look. So, I just want to hear Anita Wood again. That's cracking me up, guys. Right, I just want to see her again. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Because she just makes me laugh. Anita Wood talks about Elvis. Here we are.
I met Elvis in 1957. I was on Top 10 Dance Party on WHPQ radio television in Memphis at the time. And it was a popular dance show that they had every Saturday afternoon. The teenagers would come and dance, and Wink Martindale and I would introduce the songs and the people and the children, the teenagers that were there. And he watched that show a lot. And one Saturday after the show, he had Lamar Fike call me on the phone, and he wanted to date to see me that night.
You know that I
Always.
He had just made Loving You when I met him. And he had this shirt on, these black trousers, and I think he had like a motorcycle cap on, and he was very handsome. I mean, I have to say that Elvis was the most handsome man I've ever seen, before or after. I've never seen anybody as handsome as he. He was just very good looking, you know. And then as I got to meet him and know him,
I love it. He was very good looking. And then when I got to know him, he was even more good looking. Now, even there, she is still beautiful, don't you think, guys? Even there, Anita is still beautiful.
he had a very good personality. Funny, pulling pranks and laughing. When they drove up in the Cadillac, they had a big, long Cadillac, and Elvis was driving. So I got in the car and sat on my side of the seat, because in those days, that's what you did. And so then Elvis started driving around, and after a while, he said, are you trying to knock that door out over there? And I said, no, so I scoot over just a little bit. Not very far, but just a little bit. And we would go to his house many times, and we would watch TV, listen to music. He would invite the people up from down at the gate, which were a bunch of fans, crazy girls, you know. And here I was up here, his date, and these girls were just, man, they were falling all over him, wanting to sit in his lap and everything. I really did not like that, because I was his date. I had a hard time with that.
I bet she did.
So secretive back in those days.
I had a hard time with that. He was so secretive back in those days. Come on. He's in his 20s. the best looking man on the planet, the most beautiful women that you could imagine are falling at his feet. He doesn't want to settle down. He doesn't want to have kids and settle and stay home with put his slippers on. He wanted to experience life. He wanted to have an adventure. I completely understand why he treated Anita the way he did. But I also, my heart goes out to Anita because she gave him everything. She really did wait for him. She really did hope for him. They even chose the names of the children. Yeah, if it was a boy, Elvis Presley Jr., if it was a girl, Lisa Marie, they were, in her mind, that all of the future was planned out with Elvis. It just wasn't meant to be. And even the chance meeting of Priscilla, in the last 6 months when Elvis was in Germany, staying at the house in Bad Neuheim, he meets Priscilla, changes the course of history. Crazy, guys, crazy.
And he always said it was because of Colonel Tom Parker, you know. He didn't want us to take any pictures, and if I was ever with him and there was a picture made, I would look down or try to look away, you know, from the camera and not to appear to be too happy, because he didn't want everybody to know our real relationship, you know, that we really care for one another.
I mean, this little clip here, they look gorgeous together. They literally look beautiful together.
He wanted to be more like, we're just girlfriend and boyfriend, and we're just dating. And then he would always come to me and say, but Little, you know, that's not really true. You're just the only one for me. You know, these are just publicity stunts. It doesn't mean anything. You're the only one I care anything about. And he had a way that he could convince you that's true. I'm telling you.
You're the only one for me. She believed it, and he had a way. He had a way that he could convince you you are the only one. We know this, guys. We know Elvis, extremely charming, a lovely man. I actually believe that Elvis truly loved Anita. I really do. I think he adored her. I think when they broke up, he was gutted, really missed her, cried his eyes out. But come on, guys, he's a rock and roll star. It's in the late 50s, early 60s. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? Right, so let's just quickly turn to the page that we were on. I don't have that long. Hi, Chicky Blue. Let's just read a little bit of it. Now, we read, I think we only read a couple of pages, okay? Right, let's have a look. Yeah, we read this page, so we're on this page. Some fans were gathered at the gate when they arrived. Now, just so you know, we're reading a bit of this. Some fans were gathered at the gate when they arrived at Grayson. Elvis drove past them. He invited them, as he always did, to come up to the house. Mama didn't know what to make of that. But that was part of what made Elvis unique. He was always incredibly generous to his fans and treated them thoughtfully. That's another aspect. And the dogs are just go, shh, 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 shh. Treated them thoughtfully. That's another aspect of that time that is unfortunately lost today. Celebrities today, for reasons of safety, simply cannot afford to do that. Elvis pulled up in front of the house and talked to the fans while everybody else piled out of the car. Let me just play a bit more of this.
Right, you know, stay with the boys. You stay with the
On the
boys.
grounds at Graceland,
Stay
they
with
would
them.
have Roman candle fights in the backyard that were just scary as everything at each other. I mean, they had no fear. Elvis included, right in the middle of them. Oh, man, and we sat and watched this, fighting with each other, at each other, you know, with these Roman candles, right at each other. Man. Sometimes we would get on the motorcycle, just Elvis and I, ride through Memphis.
I love this. They would ride around through Memphis. Elvis loved Memphis.
These are things we did here. And then when he went to New Orleans for King Crow, you know, he would always invite me down there for a spell, and in California for a spell. The first time I went out there,
Chino.
he was staying at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, I believe.
Chino.
And I remember
Plug
Ricky
this
Nelson
one in.
came up one night, and some other people, I do remember him, but
Okay.
even in California,
Keep that there.
we did a
Plug
lot
it in
of
over there.
around. It was wild. He thought, as I thought,
Right.
that things that went on out there were
In
things
here.
that went on in hell. I mean, really, it was just
Oh,
the
you got
wildest
one, have
place
you?
you'd ever seen.
Okay. Do you want me to plug this
He
in
wanted
you?
his family and his friends around him. He felt
Use
a
that one.
stranger. He just loved Memphis
Yeah,
better. He liked
I'm
Memphis.
live at the moment.
1957 was
Okay,
a
that's
pivotal
fine.
year for Elvis Presley. In
Sit on my lap.
April, All Shook Up reached number 1 on
want to sit on my
Billboard's
lap?
Top 100 chart. In October,
want to sit on my
Jailhouse
lap, or
Rock
do you want to go
premiered
there?
in Memphis to a sold-out crowd.
All right, yeah, the boys were. Okay.
And in December, Elvis received his draft notice from the United States Army. It was a change that would jeopardize his career and affect his life forever. No one took that news harder than Elvis's mother, Gladys.
I remember them getting the notice, and I remember his mother's reaction. She was devastated, scared, sad. Many weeks.
Let me just pause that. So, I still don't really understand why. I said this yesterday, I think. I don't understand why Gladys was so hurt by it, because she would have gone to live with Elvis in Germany. She, he rented a house. She would have been there with him every day, every evening, cooking for him. It really did affect her badly, didn't it? It's almost like she felt that Elvis was going to war. He was like, oh no, he signed up, he's been drafted. Oh no, he's going to be getting killed. Yeah, it's really like she didn't understand that it was peacetime. It was the Cold War. Yeah. So I'll never understand why she let it affect her so much, but she obviously just couldn't handle it. And the fact that she passes whilst he's in basic training is just so sad. So sad. Yeah. Gladys couldn't protect her boy. Yeah, but Pat, I understand you saying that. But the thing is, she could go with him. She was allowed to go with him, wasn't she, Pat? So this is the bit. Was it because when he was out doing his manoeuvres that because she wasn't with him, she felt she couldn't protect him? I've never, honestly, seriously, guys, I'm just checking your messages. The army changed the course of Anita's life. Yeah, it did, yeah. But don't forget, he didn't... Obviously, eventually, things go the way they did with Priscilla. But he had other girlfriends in Germany. He had other girlfriends. People forget this. 3 or 4 other girlfriends. One of them was this, is it Stefan, the secretary in the house in Bad Nauheim? Anyway, let's read a bit more. Where are we? So obviously we know they're driving around on the motorcycle. Let's get the right page. Where I just want to get... So my mum had never seen anything quite like Graceland's. It was larger than life in every possible way and yet beautiful. Could you imagine seeing Graceland for the first time? She noticed the dining room and the antique cabinet and the long dining room table. There was also teddy bears all over the place because Elvis just released Teddy Bear only a few weeks before. Could imagine all the fans sending him teddy bears. He picked up a pink and black teddy bear and handed it to Mama. I'd like you to have this, he said. Cute. Thank you, she said. That's very sweet. The living room, which was on the right, had a beautiful fireplace surrounded by a humongous mirror. There was also a huge sectional couch and a large coffee table and lots of gold. And we've seen these pictures, haven't we? 1,000 times. 1,000, she's describing what we see all the time now, because obviously once it became a living museum, we all got to see what it was like. So it's the norm for us. But when this is being described here, this is from the point of view of Anita visiting Graceland, visiting Elvis's home in the 50s. Yeah, this is like, wow, this is like visiting the Royal Palace. Like, this is like visiting the White House. So I can completely see how this was mind-blowing for her. Yeah, Stacey, it was the height of the Cold War. Yeah, so it was scary. You know, the Cold War was scary, wasn't it, guys? We did it at school. We were all taught about the Cold War. Yeah, no, Elizabeth, I understand that. I understand that. But I still think that if Gladys was able to go and live in Germany with Elvis, it would have been a good compromise. A good compromise. She still would have got to see him every day, or at least every weekend. That's my point, yeah? Gladys always knew where Elvis was, and doing the army, it was different to Gladys. She wasn't with him at all. Yes, so she wouldn't have been with him at all times. But remember, I'm just trying to think outside the box. He had already made 2 movies at least. Yeah, Love Me Tender, and what was the other one? I'm trying to remember now. Was it Love Me Tender and Jailhouse Rock? He'd been making albums with RCA Victor. So he'd obviously been doing his little gigs. Yeah, so he wasn't home that much. He was out being a rock star, being a rock and roll singer. So I wouldn't say that Gladys was with Elvis all the time. Yeah. I can see how psychologically, she felt like, all right, now he's going to Germany, or he's about to go to Germany, because he was doing his training at first, wasn't he? His basic training. That she thought, oh, once he goes to Germany, they'll be going to war. I just see that mentality, you know? I felt Gladys stressed more and went downhill really quickly, being separated from Elvis. But this is this complicated bit, Deborah. How separate was she? Because even when Elvis was doing his training at Fort Hood, she was around. She was visiting regularly. She was, you know, so it's the whole Gladys thing. I would really like to do more research and try and understand the day-to-day existence of when Elvis was drafted. Obviously, we've seen the footage when they all go in and they enroll. Just how much did he see Gladys? It's, you know, it's complicated, isn't it? His mum passes and he sees his mum in Priscilla. This is how he gets attached to her. Well, I've read Chicky Blue. I've read that, but is that true? Is that true? Remember, Chicky Blue, I don't believe everything that is put in this book, Elvis and Me. I think Priscilla rewrote history. I think there's many things that she says that Elvis did and said, but didn't happen. She gives the impression that Elvis, obviously we know Elvis was mourning for his mum. Of course he was. She gives the impression that the only person Elvis could pour his heart out to about the loss of his beautiful mother is Priscilla. But is it true? Is it true? Yeah, I've read about Stacey. I've read it about she was very unwell. They think she may have had suspected hepatitis. They say that she may have been taking diet tablets. They say that she had something wrong with her liver. You know, it's complicated, isn't it, guys? Yeah, Pat, that's very possible. That's very possible. I'm not convinced that there was sex happening in Germany when Elvis met Priscilla. I actually don't think there was. Now, this book, she first of all says there was no sex. Elvis was going to wait till the wedding night, doesn't he? She says, oh yeah, Elvis, she says it in the book clearly. Elvis made it clear there is no sex. But then later in the book, she talks about when they're intimate. A bit, you know, a year later, 2 years later, 3 years, is it 3 years later? Now, she says they didn't have sex till the night of the wedding, yeah? When she was 21. But Lisa Marie says they had sex age 18. So we know that Priscilla, for the last 40 odd years, has given the impression there was no sex until the night of the wedding. We've proved, because of this book, there was sex 3 years before the wedding. So Priscilla's obviously been lying for 40 years about the truth of when they first had sex. They definitely did not have sex when they were very young. Yeah, when Priscilla was very young. So it's complicated, guys. We're not being told the truth. We're being told porcupines. Yeah, we're being told Priscilla's rewriting, Priscilla's new version of events. Now, I would say there's more truth in this book. And there's more truth in the book Child Bride. Even when you bring up this book, it's nearer the truth. Isn't it, guys? Things are twisted. Now, this book here gives the impression that Elvis was a drug addict. But when you start to understand Elvis's medical problems, you realise he needed his medication, don't you? You realise he was very unwell, very sick, had chronic pain, had serious sicknesses. So he was taking a lot of prescribed medication because he needed it. He was desperate. He needed it. He was sick. So my point is, well, everything's being confused. The truth is being completely thrown up in the air and it's landing back down in a different format. So I would dispute every conversation that Priscilla says she had with Elvis. Don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But we're not here to defend, because this is Elvis Presley Fan on Keto. We'll do the defending on the other channel. But you get it, guys. I think Elvis was not allowed to compare anyone with Gladys, also out of respect for his mother. But that's only something I think. I'm not sure. Of course, I agree. Renee, please subscribe to Renee, by the way. He's got a fantastic YouTube channel. And Renee's recent videos have been amazing. I've loved them. Yeah, I agree, Renee. Anyway, let's read a bit more. The living room light, which was on the right, had a beautiful fireplace surrounded by humongous mirrors. There was also a huge sectional couch, large coffee table, lots of gold flora, red chairs. A back staircase came from upstairs, leading straight to the kitchen, which had a big bar around off to the end. Alberta, the Presley housekeeper and cook, was tidying up, while some of the guys were seated at the bar. As Elvis introduced Alberta, Mama could see her room through an open door of the kitchen. So, you know, she really describes it really well, doesn't she, guys? Let's keep going. As Elvis continues to show Mama around, he must have been looking her over because he kept commenting on how petite she was. I mean, she's a stunner, guys, isn't it? To any men on this channel, Anita Wood is a proper good-looking woman. She's fit, talented, beautiful, definitely sexy, and just lovely, lovely. 100%, I think she's lovely, lovely, yeah? Renee, what do you think, mate? Anita Wood, do you think she's a sexy woman? Elvis continued showing Mama around. He must have been looking her over. She was so petite. Just look at you. You are so little. Your feet are simply tiny. In fact, it was the very night that he gave her the nickname Little. So we know he called her Little. Yeah? She really was tiny all over. Mama was small and bonded and wore size 5 in shoes. She's tiny. She's a real, you know, she's a proper beauty, isn't she? Let's get some pictures up, guys. Let's find some pictures of Anita Wood. Anita Wood, 1950s. Let's see what comes up. Let's get some images up. There we go. See if we can blow it up, yeah? Does it let me... I mean... She's just beautiful, isn't she? Let's face it, guys. Does it let me change the page? I don't know if it does. No. Let's go back. Let's try a different way of doing it. I want to be able to sort of just click on a picture and scroll through. Let's go images. I mean, look at her. She's gorgeous. She's lovely. Absolutely lovely. Look at her with Elvis there. I've never seen that pic. Let's click on it. Is that her? All right, so that must be the man that she married. I don't know his name. Let's see. There we are. There's a good one. Let's get that blown up. Here we go. Is that her? No, I don't think that's her. That is. Does it let us go bigger? She's just stunning. She's a 10. She is a 10. That's a nice picture. Is it going to let us see it? Now that is a nice picture. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely. That is one of the best pictures I've seen of Anita Wood. Does it let us blow it up? Probably not. Look at her, look at that smile. She's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. What do you think, guys? Of course, Elvis is looking fantastic as well, isn't he? Let's just see your comments, guys. Yeah, Anita looked good. She definitely did. If Gladys was alive, do you think she would have approved of Priscilla? Probably not. I think Gladys had very good instinct. But don't forget, I feel that Priscilla showed a different side to her personality. She had, remember the book Child Bride? There was a plan to get Elvis, to hook Elvis. So I think Elvis got to see the very nice side of Priscilla. Yeah? Priscilla knew how to attract a man, how to charm a man. So Gladys may have been tricked as well. Conned. Gladys may have fallen for the charm of Priscilla. So it's hard to answer, isn't it, guys? Yeah, Anita, she is beautiful, isn't she? Pat, her dad did threaten Elvis, Matty and her and rushed him to marry her. I've read this many times, Deborah. Let's have a look. So Elvis would have been much better off with Anita. Stacey, I agree. I think they were a real beautiful couple. They really suited each other. And she was a decent, loyal girl, of a sweet, innocent virgin. Don't forget, we're talking about the mid-1950s and the early 60s. The men expected the woman that they're going to marry to be innocent, to have not been around. It was different times. It's the 1950s and 60s. Even when I was growing up, in the 70s and 80s, the men wanted the girls that hadn't slept around. So she really was a decent girl. You know, she was waiting for Elvis. She really was. So, yeah, Anita very quickly got married, but I think it was the right decision for her because she had many years of happiness, didn't she? Anita married Johnny Brewer. That must have been the picture that we just saw. He was an American footballer. Should we have a little look? Let's just put it in. Can I type it here? Anita Wood with Johnny Brewer. Let's have a look. Does it show them? Is that him there? Let's have a look. There we are. That's him when he's older. I wonder if there's any of him younger. No. That must be him, yeah? Obviously, she's older. They've got 3 kids by the looks of it. She's beautiful there. He looks older to me. He's an older man, I think. Let's just check your comments. I agree, Louis. There are times they did want the girls to be innocent. Louis, you were right. Priscilla was pregnant. That's why they had wed fast. It's very possible that Priscilla was pregnant, 100%, Pat. Did Anita stay married to Johnny till they died? I don't know. I actually don't know. That's a good question. Tony, yeah, they're a gorgeous couple. Anita had a beautiful voice. Renee, yesterday we played Anita singing. We played it on here. It was lovely. Absolutely lovely. Right, let's read a bit more. As Elvis continued to show Mama around, he must, oh no, we've read this, but eventually they stopped by his parents' room on the floor. His mother and father were watching television. Elvis kisses his mum on the cheek and gave her a big hug. I want you to meet Anita. That's interesting. He said, she's on the television dance show. I've seen you on that show, she said. You do a mighty fine job. So Gladys praises Anita, even watches Anita on her dance show. She liked her. Gladys liked Anita. We know that. I think there was true love for a while between Anita and Elvis. I really do. However, was no virgin when she met. You mean Priscilla? Anita was. Anita was a virgin. And I believe it, yeah? Mrs. Presley took Mama by the hand and showed her around the room. There were French doors off the side leading towards the swimming pool and outside. Inside, there was a king-size bed and a couple of recliners, the television set, and the huge walk in the closet filled with dresses. Could you imagine just walking around Graceland like that? Wow, I'd love it. A top dresser were some photos of Elvis from when he was a little boy. Mrs. Presley picked up a few and showed them to Mama. She was very proud of her little boy, and Mama thought he looked adorable. Of course he did. He definitely did, 100%. Meanwhile, Elvis stood in the back of the room watching television with his father. Isn't she little, Satnin? He suddenly exclaimed. Satnin was the nickname that Elvis sometimes called his mother, which we know about, yeah? I just find it really cute. He's there. He's brought this beautiful, stunning girl who's actually famous. To Gladys, she is famous. She's seen her on TV, and Elvis wants her to meet Mum. I love that. I think Elvis was very proud of Anita. He was proud that he had this very successful beauty that he would one day marry. He would one day marry. Then Elvis and his mother started gritting their teeth and talking baby talk, saying things to each other like, I could just pinch your little nose. Mama had never heard or seen anything like it before, and for a moment she wondered just what kind of person Elvis was. But do you know what? I don't think baby talk is a rare thing with parents to their children. I think it's quite normal. Quite normal, to be honest with you. Right, let's have a look. She quickly realised, however, that this was one of the ways in which Elvis showed affection to the people who were close to him. Most boys she knew wouldn't dare show their feelings towards their parents, especially in front of a date. Elvis, you can tell, he always was very honest with his mum in front of his friends, whether they be girlfriends or mates. We know about Natalie Wood, felt very uncomfortable with the closeness that Elvis had with his mum. I didn't see anything wrong with it at all. Just think they were very close. Remember, there was a period when Vernon Presley was in jail, and all Elvis had back in Tupelo was Mum, and they would move from home to home. And the fact that Jessie had died at birth was also a big factor. So it made Gladys very protective over Elvis, always fearful of Elvis being harmed. So I read a story that when Gladys worked in the fields, cotton picking, she would drag Elvis behind her as a baby in like a a haversack. She would drag Elvis behind her while she picked the cotton in the fields when Elvis was just a baby. So this is what I read, guys. They came from very humble beginnings, didn't they? Very humble in Tupelo, Mississippi. So let's just see where we are, guys. Okay, we've got a little bit longer. Right, let's have a look. It sounds like that when he met her. I think her parents saw dollar signs. Can you imagine Gladys and Jesse had lived? Good point, Deborah. So where are we? So, yeah, Elvis treated his mum in front of his friends or girlfriends no different than if they were there or were not there. I've read this a few times. Mama could appreciate that because she was close to her family too, even with or without the baby talk. It wouldn't be long before Elvis started talking to Mama that way too, and as she grew to love and understand this language, he would say things to her like, love you, and just many different words here, like yittle instead of little, sooty instead of feet, toofies instead of teeth, as well as yittle, us, and him, loves ya, yeah? Come on, baby talk isn't unusual, is it? Come on. Some couples do it, don't they? Boyfriends, girlfriends. It's not as rare as you think. Graceland is a palatial 3-story house, and Elvis was determined to show Mama every room before their date was over. After finishing the tour of the main floor, Elvis and Mama joined some of the guests in the music room, and there was a white and gold baby grand piano inside. And as Elvis sat down to play, he invited Mama to join him on the piano and bench. Not only was she happy to oblige, she felt her heart leap and just a little. Here was the most handsome man in the world, and she was sitting right next to him. You can imagine them doing that, guys. You can imagine them singing together. She had a beautiful voice. Priscilla really never had a job from day one. Like, all she had to do was starting with her mother. Mama Simmons was from German. She told Priscilla, got around Elvis, she wasn't hanging around the pop shop. So, right, so where are we? Right, here we go. Mama had no idea that Elvis could play the piano. He actually chorded the music by ear, which he later taught her to do. I didn't know that. So he actually taught her. Everyone else's eyes were on Elvis, yet once again, he made Mama feel like she was the only person in the room. Oh, come on, guys. It's beautiful. Then Elvis invited Mama and the rest of the entourage to join him downstairs. The first thing she noticed at the bottom of the stairs was a Pepsi soda fountain machine, which with crushed ice on a recessed bar. It looked just like the kind you see at a fast food place, and everyone thought you'd need to fix a soft drink. I'm sort of picturing all this in my mind, guys. I love it. I wish I was there. I wish I was in Graceland. Yeah, that's how I feel. On the left side of this landing was a room with a tan leather sectional couch and a couple of large television sets. Elvis could watch 2 shows at once, and if he wanted to, along with the wall to the left and of the TV sets hung framed, and Elvis gold records and other assorted awards. On the right side of the landing was the billiard room, which boasted a pretty unusual ceiling, a very nice pool table, pool stick rack, and some tables and chairs all around. So we sort of know all this, don't we? We've all seen this thousands of times because we are seasoned fans, aren't we? So we know every room, but she's describing it as if the public don't know what it looks like. Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to go. I've got to go do some shopping. I've got to walk the dogs. So I've enjoyed that. So we are on page 28. We're on page 28. We're going to carry on reading this. I need to put something in here so we don't, I need to just put this in here so we don't lose our page. So we're doing a mixture of reading a few pages, watching a few pictures, video clips, so that we don't get in trouble with YouTube for reading a book word for word. Now, all of the book reading is done here at Elvis Presley Fan on Keto. I am trying to get you guys to join up. It's only $3. Please join up. If you've liked what I do, hit the coffee button. I love it when you guys buy me a coffee. A super thank you. All right, okay, we've got to go. So, do you want to say hello to everyone? Come over here, come over here. Let them see you, that they can't see you. No, he's shy. All right, guys, gotta go. Hit the thank you button, hit the super thank you. Please join up. It's important to me that we get some of you to join up. It's only $3 and it'll mean everything to me. Thank you to the members. We've got Tony, Linda, and Pat have joined up. Thank you so much. It means everything to me. It's only $3. Anyway, guys, love you all. Hi, Josie. Take care, all of you. And I will see you later, alligators. We'll be back to do some more reading. And I will be doing one more live on defending Elvis Presley. All of the defending is done on defending Elvis Presley. And we will be discussing the diet of here at Elvis Presley Fan on Keto. Because I am an Elvis Presley fan on Keto. We will be discussing the diet and health issues later on. Bye, guys.